Buckle up because I'm taking you on the 13 best day trips from Phoenix, Arizona that will blow your mind, all within just a few hours drive. And trust me, you're gonna wanna take notes. But before we hit the road, if you wanna have a call with us, go ahead and reach out to the information right here on the screen. We would love to chat with you about anything real estate related. We get calls day and night all the time. We absolutely are passionate about helping people be more informative about everything Phoenix. You see, living in Phoenix is amazing, but let's be real. Every once in a while, you just have to get out of the city for a day. Because I know the average person who doesn't watch this channel isn't informed that Arizona as a state has a lot to offer, and not just the difference between hidden desert gems or red rock views, but also different climate as well. That's right, all of Arizona is definitely not dry desert. So I'm gonna break it down into 4 different sections for these amazing day trips throughout the state of Arizona. First, we're gonna start with scenic day trips from Phoenix. Second, we're gonna go on adventure-filled day trips near and around Phoenix. Third, we're gonna talk about historical and cultural day trips from Phoenix. And fourth, for those of you with families, we're gonna talk about family-filled fun day trips from Phoenix. Number 1 on our list is gonna be Sedona, Arizona. This place is incredible. It is known nationally for its red rocks and amazing outdoor lifestyle and hiking. It's approximately 115, 120 miles north of Phoenix, about a 2-hour drive up the I-17. The best time to visit Sedona is going to be the springtime overall, kind of March to May, and of course in the fall, September through December, as this offers pleasant temperatures and a vibrant scenery. And the reason we didn't mention the summertime is because it's still pretty hot in Sedona in the summertime. It sits several thousand feet above the Phoenix elevation level, and so temperatures could be about 10 to 20 degrees cooler than Phoenix. But again, when it's 110 or 107 or 108 in Phoenix, that's still pretty toasty up in Sedona. And the cost to get to Sedona, well, outside of your gas or your electric vehicle, by the way, they do have superchargers up in Sedona, overall, it's gonna be pretty much free. Sedona's natural beauty is exactly that, free. And activities like guided tours or state park entries may have some fees. The Oak Creek Canyon Trail will be probably the most popular trail to hike, but there are so many good ones up in Sedona. And when you're done with the hike, you gotta take a little bit of time to go hit one of the microbreweries in the downtown area, because there is some good food and some good drinks right there in Sedona. Next is gonna be the Tanto Natural Bridge State Park. That's right, guys, this is home to the world's largest natural travertine bridge. Now, the distance to Phoenix is gonna be about 100 miles to the northeast, roughly about a 2-hour drive. The best time to visit is gonna be spring and fall, because that's gonna be your best time to do your hiking. Cost for this is gonna be about $10 for adults, $5 for youth, and for children under 7, it's free. So it's something you definitely wanna check out here in the state of Arizona. Next on the list, you have to go visit Prescott, Arizona. It features a historic downtown area, which is really cool, kind of a square around the government building, and amazing, beautiful lakes. The distance from Phoenix is about a 100-mile drive, which again is about 2 hours north of Phoenix. And the best time to visit, you guessed it, it's gonna be the spring and the fall, or late fall / winter, because the summer is still a little hot. And the cost to visit Prescott, yeah, of course it's your gas money, your transportation costs, but outside of that, it depends on where you're gonna go. But if I can make one recommendation, when you're in downtown Prescott and you want some pizza, or even if you don't, you gotta check out Bill's Pizza. It is legendary, and it's a great time right there around the square, hanging out, eating some nice, really good pizza. The last of the scenic day trips in Phoenix I'm gonna mention on this video is gonna be a trip to Jerome, Arizona. That's right, guys, this might be my favorite because Jerome is super unique for a lot of reasons. It's an historic mining town with panoramic views and attractive for a lot of artists. The distance from Phoenix, well, you guessed it, about 2-hour drive, about 110 miles north, depending where you are in Phoenix, and it's a pretty easy drive. And again, you guessed it, spring and fall are gonna be the best times to visit as well because of the lack of heat. And exploring the town is free. In terms of cost, exploring the town, it's free, but there are a lot of attractions you might want to check out. In its previous life as a building, it was called the United Verde Hospital, and it was a place that treated sick people, and they think about over 9,000 people end up dying in this hospital. It's an old 30,000 square foot building that sat vacant for many years after it's discontinued its use as a hospital. But primarily in use in the 20s and 30s and 40s, in that era, a lot of people died, and there are some stories, and it's known as the Haunted Hotel. The owners who bought it have multiple accounts of paranormal activity and a lot of noises and weird things that people who were staying there at the time experienced. People say they heard things like hospital gurneys, and they say the 3rd floor is the most haunted with the most paranormal activity and sounds that people have heard in the past. There's a lot of creepy stories at the Jerome Hotel, such as the caretaker who committed suicide in the boiler room, or even the maintenance man in 1935, Claude Harvey, that was found in the basement crushed by the elevator, and he's thought to ride the 1926 Otis elevator all the time. So whether you believe in that kind of stuff or not, it's an interesting story, and it's open to be toured but during the day only. Now let's move on to the adventure-filled day trips in and around or near Phoenix. And we're gonna start with number one with the paddleboarding down the Salt River. This is an experience that you just have to do, guys, especially in the summertime because the water is nice and cold and it's really hot outside. And along the way, you're probably gonna see some wild Mustangs that roam around this area. And if you don't want to paddleboard, what you can do is just get a couple floats. Now, if you don't want to paddleboard, what a lot of people do is they float down the Salt River. It's a beautiful thing to do because again, it's so hot outside. Let's be honest, in Phoenix, it's hot in the summertime. This is a great activity to do. Now, when you rent a inner tube to float down, a lot of people will connect them together with different things, but a pro tip, bring an old bed sheet, something thin that you don't mind getting wet or dirty or even having to throw away at the end of it, that just covers up the inner tube to keep it from being so hot. People bring coolers and drinks and you set them on these inner tubes, you tie them together and you just literally float down as you soak up the sun rays down the Salt River, and the water is cool. It is crisp and it is fun to do, and there's several different exits that you can get off along the way as you head down the Salt River. Now, as you get down the Salt River and you exit, there are old school buses that actually run all day long, picking people up to different exits when they get off the Salt River after floating for an hour or two or three or whatever it may be, and they bring you back up to the main landing zone where you parked your car, and you can get out and have the rest of your day back. But it is a phenomenal activity to do that people don't talk about very often. The distance from Phoenix, it's about 30 miles northeast of the Phoenix metro area. So it depends where you live, but it's well worth that short drive. And the best time to visit is gonna be the summertime or even early fall. Now for cost, here's a good breakdown. A tube rental and shuttle cost will be about $25 for the day. If you have your own tube, it's only gonna be $18 for the shuttle ride. You can also rent a bucket or cooler and tube for about $20. A season pass is $199, which is great if you're gonna go out there a lot. And of course, they don't sell beer, but if you need some ice, they charge $5 per bag. The next one's gonna be hiking at Camelback Mountain. Now I know this is actually in Phoenix, and this is supposed to be day trips outside of Phoenix, but I snuck this one in because I can't help it, and it's iconic. Camelback Mountain is located right in the center of the Phoenix area, and if you're gonna be visiting Phoenix, I know you might want to do a day trip, but if you're going to be in Phoenix at all, you got to consider going to the top of Camelback Mountain. My suggestion would be to hike up the Echo Canyon Trail of the Camelback Mountain, which is the head side of the mountain. It's a little more arduous, a little more difficult, but it definitely can be done. A lot more boulders, but when you get to the top, man, the beautiful view is just absolutely stunning. 360 degrees around the entire valley. And again, it's what everyone talks about when hiking in Phoenix. It's free as well. You can park on the street, you can park in a parking lot, but it's free, and you can get your hike and a phenomenal workout. It's about 1 hour up, depending on how fast you go, plus or minus. You can go as fast as 35 to 40 minutes if you're really moving, and then of course you got to come down. So check out Camelback Mountain. The third thing is going to be off-roading in the Sonoran Desert. Guys, riding an ATV is, first of all, fun regardless, but if you can do it out in the Sonoran Desert and you have just a lot of terrain, ups and downs and elevation changes, it is a great time. And there are plenty of good companies that have tours and have this all set up that you can simply go book and then get out there and just explore the natural open desert. It's a phenomenal time to do that. You have companies like Time to Ride AZ, Desert Wolf Tours. You have Outdoor Fun AZ, and the list goes on and on. But check those companies out, and I would highly recommend to go on a tour on an ATV off-roading through the beautiful Sonoran Desert. The third section are going to be the cultural and historical day trips from the Phoenix area. So let's dive into those right now. And number one on that list is definitely going to be Tombstone. That's right, Tombstone, Arizona is iconic. First of all, it's a phenomenal movie. It's top 5 in my list of top movies all time. Tombstone, with the late Val Kilmer and Kurt Russell and the rest of the guys. It is a great story. Number one, the shootout, the OK Corral, you can go see it. It's a real thing that happened. Wyatt Earp, Doc Holliday. It is a great place to go visit, one you should definitely do if you're in the Phoenix area. And instead of going north for once, you actually have to go south. That's right, the distance from Phoenix is roughly about 180 miles southeast, which equates to about a 3-hour drive. The best time to visit is going to be, again, spring and fall, late fall/winter, because again, in the summertime, it's hot. From a cost standpoint, there are no fees to enter the town. Individual attractions range anywhere from $5 to $15 per person on average. So I'd highly recommend checking out Tombstone, Arizona. The next one on the list is going to be the Montazuma Castle National Monument. Discover well-preserved cliff dwellings of the Sinagua people. This is approximately 95 miles north, about a 1.5-hour drive. And of course, the best time to visit is going to be the same times. You see the running theme here, right? The summer is hot in most of Arizona. And the entrance costs are about $10 per adult, and children under the age of 14 and 15, I believe, are free. And the next one's going to be the Herd Museum. And yes, this one's in Phoenix. But again, the museum is such a great museum, a nationally known museum, really focusing on the Native American people, as Arizona has a rich history of all those different people and tribes. And so a lot of that is encapsulated right there at the Herd Museum in Phoenix. So even though it's in Phoenix and not necessarily a day trip, it's something you should definitely go check out, and great for the whole family to go as well. Best time to visit? It could be any time of the year. Why? Because it's indoors and it's a massive place to go check out. The cost is going to be $26 for adults, $21 for seniors, and $10 for kids between the age of 6 to 17. And of course, under that will be free. All right, now we're down to the last 3 of the day trips in the last section, which is going to be the family-friendly day trips from the Phoenix area. Number 1, we're starting with the Phoenix Zoo and the Wildlife Safari, which is located out in the West Valley. I want to include both of these because they both have a similar flavor with animals. Obviously, we all know what a zoo is, but they have different things that they offer. So let's start with the Phoenix Zoo. Now again, I know this is local because Phoenix Zoo is located in the central area of the Phoenix area, in the Papago Park area, just a little bit north of Sky Harbor Airport. But Phoenix Zoo is actually one of the top 10 national highly rated zoos throughout the country, and it's a great place to go check out. Now, it's not overly big, but you have a great concentration of animals throughout the park. And again, it's going to be hot during the summertime, but you get hydrated, you have your sunscreen on, you come a little bit early, come a little bit late, and they do a great job, by the way, in the off season around Christmas time for zoo lights. Zoo lights are incredible at the Phoenix Zoo. They go all out for this. Cost for general admission is going to be about $40 for adults and $30 for children between the age of 3 to 13. And also, its sister is going to be the Wildlife World Aquarium and Safari Park, located out in the West Valley. This is a different experience. You see a lot of different animals, but this is more of a safari type experience, which is kind of unique for being, again, in the desert. Now, tickets are going to be a little more expensive for this. Because of that, it's going to be about $52 for an adult, but it does boast Arizona's largest collection of exotic and endangered animals, with over 600 separate species on display. And there are a ton of different attractions, rides, and daily shows that will honestly leave you on the edge of your seat, and you will enjoy immensely, especially for the family and the kids. Number 2 is going to be Flagstaff, Arizona. Now, this is unique because this one's going to be a great time to go in the summertime. Why? Because you're at an elevation of plus 7,000 feet, and so you have some cool temperatures. No longer do you have to worry about driving all the way to Colorado in the summertime to escape the heat. You can actually drive just 2 hours to 2.5 hours north of Phoenix, and you will be in Ponderosa Pines in the city of Flagstaff. Because in Flagstaff, you have the weather, the temperature especially, change dramatically. You could be 110 degrees down in Phoenix, and a 2-hour drive later, you could be up in Flagstaff, and the weather could be 80 degrees and just gorgeous. So this is a great place to go in the summertime. Now, the wintertime is a great time to visit as well because you can ski, you can snowboard and get to winter activities. In fact, I've done a day trip up there before, which is what this video is all about. And I actually went snowboarding with my son, left in the morning, went snowboarding till about 4 o'clock, drove back down to Phoenix, and this was like in January, and it was 73 degrees, and we had dinner outside later that day. So it is a phenomenal opportunity to have completely different climates in the same state, just 2 hours apart. Things to do in Flagstaff in the summertime include going down to Arizona, which is just down the interstate a little bit towards Williams, and historic downtown Flagstaff is amazing. You have to check it out. A lot of different breweries and boutique shops down there to just check out and spend a day just walking around. And you have mountain views surrounded everywhere. The old Route 66 or Route 66 actually goes right through downtown historic Flagstaff. So that's kind of cool as well. A lot of historical things there to check out. And if you want to get some golf in the summertime and it's too hot to play in Phoenix, you can go up to play the only public course in Flagstaff, which is Continental Country Club, which sounds private, but it's not. It's actually public. And for a more adventurous type, Flagstaff has a treetop obstacle course. That's right. You can actually be up in the trees, swinging, doing like American Ninja Warrior type stuff up in the trees, going from tree to tree on zip lines and all kinds of fun stuff in the pines in the summertime. And last but not least, on our 13th best day trip, this one's not too far, depending on where you are in Phoenix, but the Lake Pleasant Regional Park. That's right, guys, Lake Pleasant is one of the largest lakes, especially a recreational lake, in the entire state. And it's located just in the northwest section of the Phoenix area, technically in the city of Peoria. Now, if you go out to Lake Pleasant, you will have a great time. First of all, you can actually rent a boat slip if you own a boat, and you can store it right there. You can bring your boat off your truck or whatever, and you can put it right in the water. The lake is so large and vast that you can get around with having jet skis and wakeboarding and just boating and having a good time out on the water. You can swim and get off into the water, and it is a very clear lake. And again, just overall great recreation. You can also fish. You can actually do dinner cruises. It actually has the world's largest floating water slide. This thing is incredible. It actually goes down really fast and it spits you up, and you just go flying in the air into the water. It is a really fun time. You can also do kayaking, stand-up paddle boarding. You can do scuba diving, you can do camping, and the list goes on and on and on for this recreational lake activity area. So if you want a day trip to get on the water, or maybe just go there and have a good time around the water at some of these restaurants they have there, which is really good food, a great barbecue place there as well. That's something you could do. So there's no shortage of activities when it comes to day trips in and around the Phoenix area. The state of Arizona is very diverse, and I hope you check it out if you come here to visit. And if you already live here, just go visit one of those places and let me know what you think. Comment below. What do you think the places you're going to go check out first? And if you did check some of these places out, what do you think? Some of you guys have really good knowledge of these areas and these day trips, so let other people know what your thoughts are and which ones were good and which ones were maybe not so good that you could pass on next time. And we would love to have the conversation rock and roll in the comment section. I hope you enjoyed the video here today for your educational and entertainment purposes. And if you have any questions about real estate at all, give me a call, 480-660-5974. If you don't mind just hitting that like button and turn that notification bell on. We're putting these videos out every single Saturday, 8 a.m. for your education and enjoyment. We really hope you like it, and thank you for being a loyal subscriber. And don't forget to call me